Today we're here with Daniel Wright, creator of Releventful. Releventful is more than an event platform. It's actually a customer relationship and business management platform. Whether you're a caterer, DJ, a venue, a photographer, or a wedding planner, Releventful can help you grow your business. They also provide event industry business owners an all-in-one toolkit that saves both time and money, keeping you organized and connected. So we are here with the creator and owner of Releventful, Daniel Wright. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Mike. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Of course, I was going to ask where the name Releventful comes from. I'm assuming it's about staying relevant in the event space, but I
You
don't know.
got
Is that right?
Yep, it's a merge of two different words, eventful and relevant. So yeah, we want to be relevant in the event space. You got it. First try. It's awesome.
Awesome. I know the idea of a CRM isn't necessarily new, but when it comes to software, where do you think the gap in the event space was prior to Releventful?
Yeah, great question. So Relevantful was actually inspired by my family event business. So we would often talk about the challenges of what was being experienced kind of while we were eating dinner and catching up. And so over time, I have a background in software development, and I just kind of had this aha moment, and I was like, you know what, I can do something about this. One of my favorite stories is that we were discussing how it took 2 weeks for everyone to get on the same page that the event date had changed. And it just really spoke to the challenges of the event space when you have so many different parties involved. So, more often than not, if you consider a wedding, the bride is the center of everything, and all the other vendors are trying to figure out who the bride is working with. Oh, well, who's this vendor? And they may or may not have the contact information. So, Relevantful at its inception was really to solve communication and getting everybody on the same page. That was one of the biggest gaps that I identified just talking to my, just the family business kind of thing. But over time I began partnering with many other businesses in the event industry and listening to my customers, and then built Relevantful into what it is today. So today it's more of a unique blend of tools to help event professionals with all aspects of their event business. So the business, event, and employee management. So there's a lot there, but really the goal was just to kind of have a tool that's really actually made for the event industry. So most CRMs out there, they're made for projects. And so we have a really great blog that's talking about kind of event management versus project management, and how project management is more of a linear process, and event management is taking many disparate things and trying to coordinate all the activities that are happening simultaneously. And so that's where Relevantful really shines. It's like taking all of the different activities that are happening from, this vendor, and then the bride and the mother of the bride, or, I'm talking about weddings, but obviously events in general, you have many different players involved typically. So yeah, that's kind of where Relevantful was born, and some of the challenges that we were looking to solve with our product.
I love the first thing you said was communication, because that was the number one thing that our business had struggled with prior to joining Relevantful. And I definitely want to dive deeper with you later on the communication features in Relevantful. But I have I had like 1,000 Gmail labels. Each bride is like 5 different threads, but I definitely want to come back into that. But you just
Definitely.
answered all of my, made the pain a lot better. And anyway, but one of the CRMs I looked into before I found Relevantful, and it's not just this one, a lot of CRMs work like this, but one of the ones was HubSpot. And the idea of HubSpot sounded great, but you have to integrate with a lot of third parties. Like, oh, you want to send a text, you need Twilio. Oh, you want to send a proposal, you need PandaDoc. Oh, you want to send a contract, you need to integrate with DocuSign. How important was it for you when creating Relevantful to keep the SMS features, the contract, the proposals, everything totally native to Relevantful?
Yeah, it was really important. So I'm a techie guy at the heart of it. And one of the things that kind of like some personal decisions that not only benefited my product, but benefits you, the consumer, which is when you use third party tools, the price goes up. So significantly, like especially one of the things, honestly, I looked into DocuSign. I was like, okay, we need to have the ability to receive e-signatures. Let's see what DocuSign provides. And I started looking into what it would take for Releventful to include DocuSign. They're really expensive, like really expensive. And so instead, we did our own research, and we are eSign and UETA compliant. And so we built our own solution because it's cost savings for us and it's cost savings for you. You don't have to pay a lot of money to use DocuSign, and we don't have to pay a lot of money to use DocuSign. Overall, it's a more cohesive and better experience. And so, in additionally, SMS. You know, we were looking into SMS, and it's the same kind of concept. So you'll see that throughout Releventful that we were very intentional about building out our own platform. When we do integrations with the companies that do it right. For instance, Stripe. We just invested a lot into Stripe. Over time, we've had 4 different payment processing platforms that we supported, and over time we realized that some of them they had terrible customer service. You know, like they literally treated our customers poorly. They requested enormous, ridiculous amounts of financial documentation for no apparent reason, and no one could figure it out why. And we were asking them, like, why are you asking our customers for all this financial information? Also being forward in the tech industry, because we know that technology is moving forward at such a blazing pace that we want to partner with companies that are really staying on top of this and providing the best tools possible. So Calendly is another example of a company that we've integrated it with for, you know, calendar and appointment management. We still have our own appointment management, but we also integrate with Calendly because we love them as a company. They're low priced and they do it really well. They're on top of things when it comes to scheduling and calendar management and things like that.
I love how easy it is to take payments through Stripe because you could take payments through a credit card or you could do ACH. And why I love ACH is that it has a cap of something like $5, right? So you could take a $5,000 payment and I think it's a $5 max fee that you're paying compared to like something like Honeybook, who offers their very own payment processor. And it's actually a 1.5% payment with no cap on it at all.
Yep.
So, you know, it's a great way to really minimize your processing fees. It's hardly anything, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So the processing fees for Stripe, like you said, it's around like 2.9%. And we add, I think it's a 0.03%, a very small percentage fee just so we can maintain our integration. So at the end of the day, it's like 2.93%. And I love that you mentioned Honeybook because we've noticed that as well. And so I think Honeybook's general strategy is they have a low priced plan, but then they massively overcharge you for credit card processing. And I think they're making the vast majority of their money. But honestly, it's a drain on you as the business owner, and it's a drain on your customer as well. So, you know, so just things like that. You got to kind of do your homework and consider things like credit card processing fees and how expensive or not expensive they are and all those things, just the total package.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I have that right too. So the credit card is around like 2.9%, but the ACH, if you're taking an ACH payment, it's way lower, isn't it? Isn't it like
Yes.
a lower? It's like, you know, I think it's something like a $5 maximum payment that Stripe
Yes.
will take
Yep.
from you or
Yep.
something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what Stripe charges. I can look it up right now.
Just while this is happening, I just have to let everybody know that I have left a lot of software for Releventful, and they make it really easy for you to sign up. Even if you're a newer business owner, we're talking about contracts. They have a whole sample contract. They have sample emails that go out to onboard your clients. They really just kind of make it a, you know, as of seamless an experience as humanly possible, you know?
Yeah, thank you for that. And we've been working really hard on that too to make it as easy as possible to get in the system. So actually, when you first log in, you're presented with an option to select which industry you are, and you click a button, and your account is actually automatically loaded with a bunch of sample content for your specific industry, which is really cool. And then we have a whole new suite of onboarding videos, and we've completely redone our help center to make it easier and easier to find things. So we're really excited about that. And our goal is to just make it as easy and seamless as possible. And we have onboarding services too, just to help you get up and going. So I did find the Stripe ACH payments is 0.8% capped at $5. So,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yep. Yeah, so
Awesome.
really a reasonable payment there. And actually, the fee cap, just so you know, I think QuickBooks, their fee capped at $10. So Stripe's fee cap is actually better than QuickBooks. So yeah, they're doing a lot of things really well. And another really cool thing about our Stripe integration, and I'll get off this train, but they support up to 30 different kinds of payments, including delayed payments or kind of buy now, pay later options. So you can fully manage all of the different payment options with our new Stripe integration in your Stripe dashboard and say, I want this one and this one, and then it automatically presents to your customer. So what Stripe has done with their payment processing and just giving you the most powerful tools, not to mention it's super easy to get up and going with them. That's another reason why we love using them, because we were using other companies and it was a very extensive, like it was like at least 3 weeks of process just to try to get your account up and going with them. So we're working really hard to give to you the best of the best.
Definitely. Releventful is really the only all-in-one platform that I've experienced that can be utilized for teams. A lot of the all-in-one CRMs that I personally have experience with are either for solopreneurs or they're specifically sales CRMs. Have you noticed that at all in your digging when creating Releventful? And what are some features specifically for teams that can make your business more collaborative and Releventful?
Yes, we did absolutely realize that 100%. And so we actually were built for teams from the very beginning. So it was kind of honestly because we started with a family business and they had a team. And so we were building Relevantful out with that in mind from the very beginning. So some of the things that we do for teams is roles and access, right? So certain people need access to certain things, certain people don't. So in other words, some of your employees, you just want to schedule them to work. You can do employee scheduling inside of Relevantful. You can do time off requests. You can get automated reports and reporting based on the employees that you've scheduled and get an estimated amount on, your overall P&L for the event. So this is my revenue and these are my costs. So we have that built in to kind of give you more of a holistic picture of where your revenue is at and kind of your just overall P&L. And then we have really nice reporting that breaks down an employee scheduling tools that's built into our calendar to give you a visual on, oh, how many times have I scheduled Bob? Or Sarah, or whoever the case may be. You can get a visual. You can also do a resource view and see how you're scheduling people overall for your events and kind of it's more of a top down. You can see them listed on the calendar. So we've done a lot to make it easier for collaboration, even inside of the event. So you can create a team for the portal. You can also create to-dos and tasks for your individual staff to do and to complete. You can have a salesperson and a sales role that just manages the sales side of things. You can have someone who just does invoicing, someone who does scheduling, someone who just deals with the events they're assigned to. So yes, we noticed that as well. And that is something like we're even priced out. So we've gone back and forth with our pricing a lot over time. So if anybody's followed Relevantful, you've seen the prices kind of change. And really the heart behind that is we wanted to have the best pricing for you, our customer. And what we realized is our previous pricing, it was based on the range of employees that you had. So, 0 to 5 or 0 to 3, and then, 4 to 10, that kind of thing. So we were in line with other solopreneur type products. But what we realized is that Relevantful is for teams, and we don't want to penalize you for having a team. So we have simple pricing. Like if you have a team, this is your price. Doesn't matter how many employees that you have. So we just wanted to make it simple because we don't want to penalize you for having a team. Like if you have a team, we want you to use Relevantful. It's built for teams. So
I remember being so shocked when I was talking to Rich, another member of the Relevantful team who helped me with my account getting started. I was like, "What do you mean? Wait, do you really mean that everybody can have their own email address? They can log into the platform and see client communication and chat with the client and see the whole portal and everything, like not just through one email address for the entire system?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, wow. And it's pretty funny that is such a talking point or something that's not very common in a lot of these systems. So I thought that was really
right.
cool. I want to maybe shift a little bit and dive deeper about you. We have a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to the podcast. So I came up with a few questions for Daniel relating to growing your business and monetizing whatever you, the listener, are passionate about. So Daniel, I guess my first one is that, inspiration comes in many forms. What has inspired you or motivated you over the last few years, whether it's business or personal, both?
Well, yeah. So there's a lot of things. I'll be honest. Like first and foremost, it's my faith. So this has been starting a company is challenging, and anybody who's an entrepreneur knows what that means. They know how challenging it is, how difficult it is emotionally. You just pour everything into the company to get it to grow. And so, yeah, some days it's super exciting, some days it lets you down, but you just keep on plugging away. So, yeah, I would say faith is a big component, a big motivator. Another thing is I'm just really passionate about the event industry. I'm passionate about making change, about providing a solution that genuinely makes a difference. So I think, and that's where I've talked with friends and family and things like that, and they're just saying, nobody can build a product that you can because they don't have the passion that you have for it. And so that's one of the biggest things. So if you're an entrepreneur, you have to have passion behind it. And if you don't have passion, it's just not going to happen, because it's just, you come across really big challenges and you have to navigate those things and decide whether or not you're going to move forward. And at the end of the day, like if you have something that's really driving you, that's really moving you forward on that, then that will be kind of your the thing you hold on to in the difficult days. And then when you get over the hump, you achieve your dreams, so to speak. So yeah, there's so much to a journey of an entrepreneur, and I'm still in the middle of it, and it's exciting. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So yeah.
Were you in a better position starting Relevantful because you came from this software development, background, or do you think it's still, what advice would you give someone who wants to start their own tech company that doesn't have any software development experience?
Yeah, great question. I do think me having a technical background is definitely a huge plus. With that also came a lot of challenges, because I had to learn a lot of things because my background was technology. And so I had to learn a lot of business things and, marketing and sales. And, when you're an entrepreneur, you just kind of dive in there and you do everything. And so there's a pretty massive learning curve, but I think that's for everyone. I don't think anybody comes in the box as an entrepreneur and has all the skills. So you kind of have to learn as you go. But software, because it's Relevantful as a software as a service company, that definitely, I think, gives me an edge, being able to change quickly, and where the investment is coming from myself. If you're trying to start a tech company and you don't have development skills, the challenge on your side is you're going to invest a whole lot of money to get someone to build your product, because it's very expensive to get somebody with good skills and to produce a quality product. So software development it's an expensive game. so I'm very appreciative and thankful that I had the skills necessary to build this. And honestly, if I didn't, I don't know if I would have.
I've talked to quite a few tech companies that don't have that experience, and they were venture capital funded, and
Yep.
and because of that, they really don't get as much say of the different features that come out and the direction of the company as much as somebody, I imagine, like you, that has the software development experience.
Yeah, definitely. If you have the skills necessary, then you can build it, and you can kind of drive the direction. But you're right. When you get investors involved, depending on the arrangement or the agreement, you may start to lose control over over the direction or the say of things, just because you have other people that have invested money, and so now that's a part of the makeup of your company. So yeah, I do have 100% control of Relevantful, and I'm able to drive it forward as I see fit. And I'm super thankful for that. Right now, it's completely kind of privately funded. I don't have any investors, so it's great.
What's one thing that people are generally surprised to find out about you?
Well, I'm a drummer, so yeah, I've been playing the drums for over 25 years. So music is a huge part of my life. Ironically, the longer I'm a musician, the more I realize that a lot of people who are musicians are kind of in like technical and engineering kind of fields, which is interesting. I don't know if it's like your brain is wired a little differently. I'm not really sure. But anyways, yeah, I play the drums, love it, and been playing for over 25 years, and wouldn't give that up either. That I really have enjoyed playing the drums over the years, and play the drums in high school band and, marching band, and been in church bands and all kinds of stuff over the years. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
We had some really fun musicians on the podcast. So if you're listening, musicians, you need a CRM, you don't know what a CRM is, This is the perfect episode for you to check out Relevantful. We're gonna get into the DJ add-ons and all that fun stuff that will really apply to you. But I want to kind of shift into the sales process a little bit because a lot of wedding vendors, they get a lot of inquiries depending on how much paid advertising they do, from the Knot and Wedding Wire and Google to companies that are a little more established and get a lot of leads regularly. How does Relevantful help leads not get lost in the shuffle?
Great questions. One of the biggest things is have to have a CRM that enables you to organize yourself. Many companies that are starting out, they don't have a CRM, and so there's still a lot of companies out there that are managing their business on Google Sheets and just generally Google products. And so they start off that way and then they get to a place. And the biggest issue that they have is just organization. They don't have a way to find things quickly. They don't know where things are at. They're trying to find different resources and assets and emails and documents, and they do their best. They might have a legit folder filing system that they work on. But at the end of the day, you need something to manage holistically where that lead is. It's a funnel. So you have a lead and it enters your funnel. Your website most often is the beginning of that funnel. Or like you said, you have other points along the way, and that's the beginning part of your funnel. But once it enters your CRM, it needs to get into your CRM, and then you manage, okay, where's my lead at? I had this follow up, I had this touch point, I need to do this with this lead, and you just track all of the different information and details so that they don't get lost in the shuffle. So with Relevantful, we have a pipeline. It's a visual pipeline. We actually have a 5-stage sales process. It's completely customizable, but you can visually see where your leads are at within your pipeline. And we have lead cards, so you can click on a lead card and it opens up more details like sales campaigns. So another thing that a good CRM will do for you is help establish consistency. So with your sales process, you're trying to nail it down. What works? What's my messaging? What do my customers want to hear? When do I contact them? All those different touch points, and you're trying to work out the secret sauce of what works for your business and what converts leads over into real customers. So with Relevantful, you can track those things. Okay, with this lead, I'm 3 emails in and now they're gone. Or with this email or with this lead, I tried SMS text messaging and that worked, and I convert them over to a book customer. So with Relevantful, you can automate your sales process either through emails or SMS text messaging. And then you can follow it through the booking process, which is creating proposals or invoices. And we have visual proposals. It's kind of like a shopping cart. Like I want to, let me add this, and they can see the price update and they can see what things look like. A little bit more self-serve, or if your industry is a little more where you have to create more complex proposals with many different line items, we have a line item proposal as well. So your CRM tool should be able to accommodate wherever you're at in the sales process, not only through tracking them as a lead to get them into a warm to a hot lead. So when they're a hot lead, you got to book them as a customer. So one of the things you don't want to do is kind of what you were going back to originally, is have your customer, your potential customer, go to 3 or 4 different places to book you. You don't want them to get lost in your process. So with Relevantful, we created something called quick close invoicing. And because we're all in-house, it makes it a whole lot easier for us to do this. As far as all of our tooling and, e-signatures and payments, we have something called quick close invoicing. So you can go from a proposal to a signed contract to a payment, all in one three-step seamless process. So that's what you want. We call it quick close invoicing because it enables you to close the deal faster versus, hey, I'm going to send you a document, please sign it, scan it, and send it back to me. That's kind of more of the, old school way of doing things if you don't have technology or you're trying to save money, or maybe you have a Google Doc over here or you have DocuSign over here, and then you send them a QuickBooks invoice over here. At the end of the day, your customer might get confused and they might lose something, and something might go to spam. Like, I didn't get it. Where did it go? And then all of a sudden your customer was ready to book and then they're gone because you lost them in the process. So with Relevantful, you don't lose anyone because it's all encompassed in the same system. And not only that, but you transition them straight from the booking process into the planning process. So it's a full, I call it the event life cycle. Go from kind of that lead through to a booked customer and then through the planning process. So because we're an event-based system, you have the whole planning side of things, and you seamlessly transition them even through automation tools in Releventful to give them their portal. And we have our app, the kind of the segue to the app there, where your client can download the Releventful app and they can do planning on their phone, filling out forms, documents, messaging you back and forth, doing emails, and then seamlessly have access to their invoice and their contract that they sign and all of that.
I don't know if all business owners feel like this, but as you're talking, I'm like a little kid in a candy store over here going like, "Oh my god, this is like the coolest thing ever." Like it's super exciting. I love the proposal feature because I feel like in some CRMs you get one or the other. You get the line item proposal or you get that true shopping cart experience, just one or the other. It's nice that you
Mhm.
could pick which experience you like. I personally love that shopping cart. I call it the shopping cart experience. I don't know, is there a better word for it? It's just
No, that's good.
uh okay.
Yeah, shopping cart experience. We'll go with it.
Perfect, because it's a great way to upsell clients too. Like there have been so many times where we intended to sell our client an 8-piece band, right? But then after we got the proposal back, oh wow, wait, they added on venue uplighting, they added on our photo booth, they added
Mm,
on a jazz trio. Like we didn't even talk about this, you know? So it's a
yeah,
great way to upsell. And then by the way, a quick side note, everything that we're talking about here with the pipeline and the app and everything like that, Releventful did a really amazing webinar on the DJ Vault, and it's on their YouTube. It's on the Releventful YouTube channel, and you could see Daniel and Rich really go through the step by step and just see just how everything looks, and everything just looks so awesome. And so I would
so much.
definitely recommend that. The SMS texting is really cool because not only is it two-way texting, but it's with you the whole sales cycle, isn't it? From like payment reminders to, can you talk about just like how you integrate texting throughout the sales process besides just like back and forth?
Sure. Yeah, it kind of goes back to the very beginning. Communication was paramount. That was actually where Relevantful started. And so the cool thing is that when we added in texting, it plugged into our existing, what we call a business communication platform. So that is, we can dive deeper. I'll answer your SMS question, but the business communication platform actually does quite a few things for you, and it solves a lot of issues from a communication perspective. So for SMS texting, you can start with the sales process where you're sending them text messages. Hey, thank you so much for filling out the form on our website. Or, we're really excited to be working with you. So and so is gonna give you a call here in a few minutes. And so texting is that immediate prompting, especially in our culture. Everybody's AD because they're super overloaded with too many kind of, it's like sensory overload. We all know it. Things popping up on our phone, just everywhere. Texting is very effective because it pops straight to the top of their notifications on their phone. So everything is competing for your customer's attention or your lead's attention. So SMS texting is very effective to get right in front of their face immediately. So with Relevantful, you can have text messages go out immediately. Again, over 80% of all text messages are read. So it's super effective, goes straight to the top of the list. If you're in a really, really competitive industry like DJs or photography, those two are probably the most competitive spaces in the event industry. Texting is something you should seriously consider because it'll get you in front of your customer faster because they're probably looking at a dozen other people at the
Right.
same time. So with that, when you're sending them a proposal, you can send a text proposal. So again, like that's a part of your full. Now you went from a cold lead, you've warmed them up. Now you're to a hot lead, and you're sending them a proposal. They're almost ready. So send them a text message. They click on the button, boom, they open up the proposal. And even into the payment reminders, you can also do texting as well. Still within that sales cycle, now you have a booked customer, but you can do text messages because sometimes people forget to pay or whatever. And so you can set up text messages to go out automatically to your customer, which is really great. Yeah. So employee scheduling, we also have fully integrated. If you want to use the SMS texting for scheduling your staff, you can as well. That's actually integrated in there. So that's the full integration of our SMS text messaging. One really cool thing about it is that we don't charge overage charges because every other text messaging company out there like Twilio or Simple Texting or all these other companies, their overage charges are significantly higher than your base rate. So whenever you go over, you're paying a significant amount more. So Relevantful doesn't do that because we have our communication platform and we do two-way texting. So if you're in the sales process at any point in time, those text messages automatically flow through our business communication platform and are stored in the portal. So you always have a full record of everything that's happened from the very beginning of the sales process all the way through to the end when the event is done. It's all nicely kept and stored for you.
Does Releventful give you a phone number, or how does that work? Does it connect to your phone?
So we do toll-free numbers. So you automatically get a toll-free number with any of our text messaging plans. You can purchase more. We also do SMS short codes. So if you ever wanted to do an SMS short code, we support that as well. But a free toll-free number comes with every SMS texting plan, and you can add more if you're higher volume. So yeah, that's how that works. And it's fully compliant. So they can opt out. They can text the word stop. It will stop. So it's a fully compliant SMS texting platform that follows all regulations and all that kind of stuff.
Wow, that's awesome. Congrats on releasing the app, by the way. Isn't it just come out like last month or something like that?
It came out last month.
Oh
Very, very
man,
new, very
congrats.
fresh.
That's a huge accomplishment. How has creating an app impacted your business, and what have people been saying about it?
Yeah, people love the app. We created it based on what we heard from our customers, honestly. Like we heard our customers just talking about their need for a mobile app. It helps them a lot in just differentiating themselves in the industry and giving and kind of meeting their customers where they're at on the devices that they're used to. It's interesting because Relevantful, it was actually built with responsive design from the beginning. So all that means is like it's actually made that you'll see the screen transform if you're on a phone, a tablet, a desktop. So it's already built to work on every device. But what you get with a native mobile app is it's actually designed for the app, for the phone or the device that you're pulling it up on. It's designed for that screen. So it's definitely it's a higher quality experience for your customer where we're all used to apps. And so having an app for your business, it just kind of elevates that experience for your customer. And with Relevantful, we're using the latest and greatest technology. So when your customer gets a link, so let's just say you're having an email conversation within Relevantful and you send them a note, they have a button, and if they click that button in the email, it's a one-click download. So it takes them to the App Store, download the app, and then it automatically logs them into their event. So we've created everything to be very seamless for your customer. So literally they click the button one time and boom, they're in their app and can start interacting with the app on their phone. So response has been really great.
Awesome.
We've been very excited about it. Honestly, it's kind of been something that's been years in design and process and making. So we're just elated to get it out to everyone.
Awesome. What do you say to the people, clients who are like, "Oh man, you know what? This company, they gave me this password I have to remember. I have to keep logging into this app. I have no idea what it is. It's been 6 months since they emailed me the login information." It used to happen to us all the time. What's the experience like for a customer logging into the app?
So with Relevantful, we decided to go a different route where we don't require for your customers and people that you invite to the event. So just kind of a side note on our portal, part of the business communication platform, again, back to that original idea of we have many different people involved with the event. How do we bring them all into one place? Well, with Relevantful, our portal is designed to have everybody who's involved. That means other vendors that you're working with, friends, friends of your client that want to be involved in the planning process. You can simply invite them to the event. Now, when they're invited, they automatically get a link, and that link is permission for them, and it's a one-click login. So you don't have to deal with passwords. You don't have to create, like your client coming to you saying like, "Hey, I can't log in," and now you have to stop what you're doing, go into whatever portal you're working with,
Yep.
reset the
Yep.
password, resend it to them. It should work for you now. You don't have to do
Yeah, right.
that anymore.
Right, then you gotta go to the like, for us, until, Relevantful, they'd have to go to our website, they gotta go to the client portal page, and embed code would populate on the screen, they'd have to enter the email address, and then the password would come up, and then there wouldn't really be that much content in there other than how much money they owed, their invoice and their contract, and, a couple of documents that we could upload, but that's about it. Which brings me to my favorite feature of Relevantful, the the song selection and DJ management feature. Please tell us about this feature, Daniel.
So, so yes. So for DJs, we have been plowing this ground for DJs, and we've worked with Joe Bunn. Gave a plug there for the webinar. He's a personal friend of mine. He's in here in the Raleigh area. We met a long time ago, and so I worked with him directly and other DJs. Like, okay, what is song selection? What do you guys do? And so I would actually go and demo to Joe Bunn. Hey, this is what I came up with. What do you think? So anyways, we were working on song selection for a long time. And so where we are today is we actually have 3 different types of song selection you can do. One is planning form. So this is like inline song selection. You have a bunch of questions you want to ask your customer. Some are related to songs, some aren't. Just general planning. How many guests are you having at the dinner party? Are you going to provide food for the vendors? Whatever you want to ask. Check boxes, drop down menus, fill in the answer, all that kind of stuff. So with Releventful, our first type of song selection is inline song selection. So inside of that planning form, they tap the field to enter their answer, and it brings up a song selection window. So that's integrated with Spotify or your own personal song list. So that's song selection number 1. And that's fully featured. You can do cool things like, if you want a cocktail hour, you can actually put a suggestion button down on the corner, and they tap that, and it brings up, hey, this is our recommended cocktail hour songs. And so you can custom curate that for your customer, which is really neat. So the second type of song selection, that's our song selection by category. So just big, general categories. It could be things like, cocktail hour, dinner music, general song selections. You can create all the categories that you want. You can let your client create their own, and they just add songs into the category. And you can put limits on it, like, I only want 1 of these, 2 of those, 15 of those. You can give me 100 of those. And as a part of that kind of song selection, you can also let them share their Spotify playlist with you, which is super common. So millennials love Spotify playlists. So they typically have like 150 of those. And so they'll pick their favorite playlist and just share it with you, and maybe they'll be done. But that's there. The last kind of song selection, the third kind, is our live song selection. So the live song selection is really awesome. It's completely unique to Releventful. So what you can do with that is live at an event, you can make song selection live. You get a shareable link, and you share that with the bride. The bride can get it straight from her Releventful app on her phone, and you can text it to people. You can email it to people. And so it'll just easily spread to people in the event. People sitting next to one another, they all have the ability to share the link. So everybody's sharing the link, and before you know it, everybody has the app on their phone, and they start letting the DJ know what songs they want to hear. So if you have typical events where this would happen is, you have your weddings, your parties, your bar mitzvahs. It's like super common for people to walk up to the DJ booth or table and
that's what I was going to say.
And be like,
yeah,
hey, can you play this? And you can't even hear them anyway because the music's going, the party's going. And so the DJ has to stop what they're doing and be like, what? Taking their headphones off and, hey, yeah, I'll play that song. But so now so with the live song selection, you get a really fun way for people to interact with you. And it doesn't interrupt the flow of what you're doing. It doesn't interrupt the flow of, the way you're mixing the event and your focus on handling the event, because the DJ has you have a really important role of, you're not only doing the song, but you're managing the general flow of the event, giving announcements, what's coming up next. You got a lot of things that you're tracking all at the same time. And so with the live song selection, you can have your phone or your tablet up right next to you, and you see the trending list. So people can somebody adds a song that they like, and then other people can say like, oh yeah, I want to hear that, and they like it on the Releventful app. And so with a live, one important thing is for the guests that are invited to do live song selection, that's literally the only thing they can do on the app. They pull it up. It's a special mode, if you will, just for them. So they just see the song selection. That's it. So they're like, as for all they know, that's the only thing the app does. And so they're just, they're just liking songs. And so the DJ, they see the trending list of songs. They're like, okay, cool. I just played that one. All you have to do is you tap it. You tap the song on your tablet, boom, it just moves the song down to the bottom of the list, and you keep on going. And everybody at the event,
you can share that link with yeah.
Yeah, you can
I was
you
just
can
gonna
share
say
the
you can
link.
share that link with whoever you want to, right? And we're both getting the same thing, I think, but you can share that link with whoever you want to. So, like, let's say you're the bride and groom, and you really trust, your bridesmaids. You want to give them full permission for the DJ after party or whatever. They could
Yep.
share the link with their friends, and
Yeah.
share it with however many guests they want to. And what's really cool is, like Daniel said, you could see, like, okay, 4 people have requested this song or whatever, and then when the DJ taps the button, like, was it like a thumbs up button or something like that? Then just
Yeah,
near
hit
the
the like
bottom of the
button.
list. The like button, yeah, moves to the bottom of the
Yep.
list. So that's really cool. Yeah, especially especially at weddings, alcohol and requesting songs to our DJ. Sometimes this is the best mix. So having an app is really great, because I thought that was really cool. And this is a little bit of a selfish question. This has been an incredible addition to us. After they select their songs, we typically make a set list on a Google Doc for them in order, and that's what the musicians see, and we show it to our client too. Is it pretty easy to download the selections that they picked out, like their play songs, for us to go and make a set list for them?
Yes, definitely. So inside of the portal, there's a to-dos area, and the to-dos is kind of where you have your those three different kinds of song selection. They all display there, and there's a print button up at the top. So you just tap that print button, and it gives you a nice printable form or view of all your client song selections, of any forms, or of anything that they filled out. That's all right there. So yeah, that's like a nice printable view of everything that your client has filled out, all their song selections, everything. And then we also have an area in the portal, it's playlist management. And the playlist management piece is kind of the other side of song selection, which is if you're doing song or just prep for the event, and this is like specific for the DJs, this isn't for your client. So for DJs, when you're prepping for the event in the playlist area, you can reorder the songs around and create your legit playlist. And we have another app. It's not the app for the App Store. This is an app that you install on your MacBook or your Windows, laptop, and it scans your songs. So we call it the remix scanner. So it scans your songs, all of your library, and then when you're kind of matching up, like, all right, I have all these songs for that my client has chosen. I'm definitely going to play all these. This is my playlist. This is the order I'm going to do it in. Our remix scanner will automatically match up, like, this is the song you have in your library, and it'll create your playlist for you, matched up to your actual laptop or whatever computer you take with you. It'll match it up, and then you can download the playlist from there. It's an M3U file. So it's an M3U playlist file. If you're using Serato, you can drag it into a Serato crate. It's compatible with Tractor, iTunes, or whatever you're using. And then we also have a CSV download of that playlist file as well, and that's compatible with Crate Hackers. So yeah, it's a full solution for DJs. Kind of, you have the printable version that you can just print out and you can use that, and then you have a playlist creation area in the portal where you can actually create your playlist and get the actual playlist that's matched up to your physical files that you have, and then you're off and running. So
Wow.
if you have any events where it takes you, if you have 150, 200 songs, for some events, like if you have a lot of songs, it can take you a decent amount of time to go through and just, like, all right, I need this one and this one. So yeah, that's what the remix scanner does for you. Is it does that matching for you.
I noticed some the play bars next to the song. So can clients actually preview the song before they click play? Like, can they listen to it?
So if
This is through Spotify, right?
Yeah. So yeah, if they tap that, I think it's like a little sound button or speaker. I think it's a speaker. So if you tap that, it will actually open up Spotify for them to listen to that particular song. And if you're using your own songs, it'll take them to YouTube, or we actually have it where it'll take you to the lyrics. There's like a song A to Z or something like that, and it'll automatically plug in that song there where they can view the lyrics too.
I guess this is a common question, but do they each need their own Spotify account to pick out the songs, or is this something through Relevantful?
So yes, they would use their own Spotify account for it.
Which
Yep,
everybody has Spotify these days, so
pretty much.
amazing. Yeah, and I guess the last thing that I'd love to touch on is just the event timeline feature. I thought that was so cool. Do clients also have access to that timeline feature as
Yes, they do. So that's based on a setting. So if you want your clients to be able to manage their own timeline, they can. If you want to kind of hold that, you know, for your business to handle, you can do that too. But yeah, the timeline feature really fast for your client. Let's just say if typically for DJs, they want their clients to fill out the timeline. For event planners, it's like, no, I'm doing the timeline, right? So event planners
Yeah.
are, they're planning it, so they want control over the timeline. So they would not give the clients the ability to edit that. DJs typically hand that over to their clients to fill out as needed. But it's really fast, super easy. You can reorder things around, and everybody who's on the event, they can actually see that timeline. And just kind of on a note of the portal is also based on access. So you can have to-dos that you say, okay, I want my client is handling this to do. I'm not assigning this. I'm not granting permission to anyone else, but I have these other ones. I want these people to be doing this. So you can actually assign tasks even internally to your own team, to your client, and you can permission things out for the to-dos area of the portal for the appropriate person who's assigned to that thing. They will see it and then everyone else won't. But the timeline and the event details, everyone gets to see that because that's core to the event. And anytime any information changes, like the date or the time, you don't have to wait 2 weeks or
Yeah.
try to find everybody. Everybody's notified automatically by Releventful. Hey, the time changed, the date changed, event details changed, and that way everybody is just notified automatically, and you don't have to worry about that kind of thing anymore.
Oh, that's so awesome. I really suggest that everybody who is considering using Releventful, just write out all of the tools that you currently use right now, all of the Zapier integrations, right? Like all the project management tools that you use, your sales CRM, and I guarantee you, if you're anything like me, you'll be able to condense all of that down into one native system called Releventful. Daniel, before we go, I'd love to know kind of what's on the radar for Releventful, what's coming up, what can we expect new with the software?
Yeah, so the next thing, it's already in the works, is we are adding clock in and clock out clock in, clock out for employees. So that's actually going to be on the mobile app. We're also enhancing our task management to be on the app as well. So really the next update for our mobile is going to be for the mobile app, and it's going to be for your staff specifically. So we're investing more into the employee management side of things so that you can, and actually, so the clock in, clock out, that's going to be geofenced. So they will not be able to clock in, clock out unless they're on site physically. So, it'll check the GPS. Yes, I'm there. Okay, you can clock in now. And it'll actually automatically remind them when they get on site. If they have location services enabled, it'll say, hey, clock in, you arrived. Same thing, clocking out. So that's going to be a really exciting feature just, for you and your business. Everybody has a phone, millennials are all over it. Like you can barely pry it out of their hands. So giving them the ability to clock in, clock out on their phone will be perfect. And so that's that side. And then also just general tasks and to-dos for your staff as well. They'll have that checklist right on their phone. Hey, you need to do this and this. So that's going to be right there available on the app as well. So yeah, that's kind of the next thing coming. We're excited about that. We're always improving. Relevantful is really built on just listening to our customers, to be honest. So nothing is in Relevantful that wasn't asked for or thought about or, discussed with legit people in the industry. So like that's my background in the event industry. And then just countless other people that we've had discussions with and talked with. Like that's what Relevantful is. It's a product of the event industry. So it's kind of like by people in the event, people for people in the event industry. So
Stay
yep.
relevant in the event space and make sure you check out the show notes in this podcast episode. Daniel, where can people sign up for Relevantful? What's the next step for people to check out the software?
Yeah. So go to relevantful.com and you can check it out. You can book a demo with us. I also have a couple coupon codes that I wanted to throw your way. So anybody who's listening, there's a place on there when you sign up that you can enter a coupon code. So one is early 10, no spaces, all caps, early 10. That'll give you 10% off for the first 3 months. So that's a great discount for you. The other thing that I wanted to give a plug for, we literally just went live with this yesterday, hot off the press. If you are switching from multiple systems, we know that can be overwhelming and expensive. And, it's kind of, Mike, you're already trudging down this path. So
Oh yeah.
we have, Yes. So if that's you, we have a special, what we're calling the big switch. It's a special program just for you, huge discounts, and then huge discounts on your onboarding assistance as well. So the more people we talk to, they're just like, man, this sounds awesome. This is completely overwhelming. I'm using this and I'm using this and I'm using this. I don't even know how I'm going to make this happen. So we just created a program that is for you to help you do this, that, big discounts for 6 months. So go check it out. It's on our pricing page on the website. And then, you can do that program, or if you just want to go ahead and sign up and you're ready, early 10 will give you 10% off your first 3 months. You can get going that way.
Awesome. Click the link in the show notes and it'll bring you right to Releventful. And I just want to leave you guys with this. If change is scary, it's because you're growing, and change is good. So
Yeah.
don't let switching to something that will make you more money overwhelm you when there is just so many great things and relevant to look forward to. Daniel, thank you so much, man. I really had a blast talking with you.
Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate being on the program. This has been really fun.